Hello everyone, this is Yashvi Patel and you are watching my YouTube channel. So today we will talk about recurrent neural networks. So let's get started. Neural networks take set of independent variable x and outputs dependent variable y. The process of mapping y from x is called training. The problem with this type of neural network is xi is independent of xj and the order is not maintained. So what if order is important? Like in the case of text data or a speech or video data or a stock market data, in all these cases, order is very much important. To solve this problem, RNN comes into the picture, which RNN, which stands for recurrent neural networks. In RNNs, at each timestamp, there are two input to the hidden layer. Input at the timestamp xt and output of the previous timestamp. Same weights WHH and WHX and WHY are applied repeatedly at each timestamp. The hidden state at timestamp t is calculated as sigmoid of WHH is this weight multiplied HT minus 1, which is previous state, plus WHX is the weight of hidden layer and input, and xt, which is the current input. The output at timestamp t will be calculated as softmax function of why, which is this weights, which is weights between hidden layer and the output y, and multiplied by h of t, current hidden state. So RNN can be one to many. Uh, for example, image captioning. In this, if we pass some image, it will give us a suitable caption. It can also many to many. For example, Google Translate. If we give English sentence, it will translate us to French sentence. And also many to one. For example, sentiment analysis. In this, if we pass some sentence, it will give us its sentiment, like it is positive, neutral, or negative. All right, now let's see how we can calculate the loss in RNN. The loss function used in RNN is cross entropy loss. What we will do, we will calculate the loss at timestamp t, which will be the sum of the loss over the entire vocabulary. And then we will sum up the loss at each timestamp and divided it by t, which is the number of timestamps. So now the question is how we can backpropagate in RNN. The backpropagation of RNN is called backpropagation through time, because in RNN we unroll all input timestamps and then errors are calculated and accumulated for each timestamp, and then network is rolled back up and weights are updated. So basically unroll and then roll. Now let's see what are the advantages of RNN. We can pass the sequence of any length to RNN. So there is no restrictions of size of input sequence for RNNs. And we have also seen that RNN can use the information from many timestamp back. So now let's see what are the disadvantages of RNN. One of the disadvantages of RNN is computation is very slow because it is sequential. So another major disadvantage of RNN is vanishing and exploiting gradients. Okay, for to explain this, for example, we have two sentences here. John grew up in France. He speaks in then blank space. And the other one is John grew up in France. He did his master's in computer science. He speaks in blank space. You will immediately say it should be French in both the cases. Ireland should predict the French in both the cases. It's very simple, right? But in reality, Ireland can predict the French in the first case, but it fails to predict the French in the second case. Why? Because during the backpropagation, gradient vanishes. In the first case, the French is closer to its context, France, but in the second case, the French word, the context is very fast. So RNN failed to predict French in the second case because of the vanishing gradient problem. Exploiting gradient problem arises when gradient become too large, it blew up and clashes our model. Alright, now let's see the solutions of vanishing and exploiting gradient problems. First solution is gradient clipping. In gradient clipping, we provide the threshold on the gradient to prevent it from getting too large. And the other two solutions are LSTMs and GRUs. LSTM stands for long short-term memory. GRU stands for gated recurrent units. LSTM as well as GRUs, we can capture long-term dependencies of the words. So we will discuss these two methods in the next video. So this is it for today. In the next video, we will discuss about LSTMs and GRUs. If you liked my video, then please do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel because this will motivates me to create more and more content. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.